Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 159 of The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind, this one titled The Merits of Keeping On. My drink today is some Sprite that I've put in a cup and I'm going to drink with a straw. Yep, tastes like Sprite. Lukewarm Sprite, not cold Sprite. Now, this is an unprecedented one in the sense that if it wasn't for the new way I'm doing things on the show, which if you haven't, go back to chapter 151, the origin story, there is a link to it in the description. If you go there, you will listen what I mean by the new ways I'm doing things, but yeah, this can't be done unless by the new things that I'm doing things, but I am not recording this on a Wednesday or on a Thursday. I'm recording this 2 a.m. on Sunday because after I've done recording this, after I've put it for post-processing stuff, I'm gonna have to pack my stuff and then leave for airport in around 4 hours. And because I'm going on a trip and I'm returning on Friday evening, and there's a massive chance I won't be on time to record then, so I decided to record earlier. Yeah, this is unprecedented to record this early in the week, but to be honest, by the time you're listening to this, I don't know if this is even relevant anymore. I may be dead, you know. You might be listening to this from beyond the grave. Wouldn't that be spooky? But hopefully that's not the case. I don't want to die. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I don't have anything else to talk about this week, in the sense that the week hasn't happened yet. I don't know how the trip was. You have to hear from me about that next week, which is, by the time you listen to that's old news. But you know, I needed to talk about this because it's something that has been on my mind for a long time, and a friend of mine asked me about it too. And that is, why do I do this? This meaning The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind, and why do I make such a big deal out of it? What, like, even if I miss a week, does that matter? Like, generally, in the grand scheme of things, does that matter? Honestly, that's one of those questions that I think if I look at it, or does it matter? Like, in the grand scheme of things, no, of course it fucking doesn't. This is a show that one guy records weekly in his bedroom. Of course it doesn't matter. But to me, it does. So, you know, it's very subjective. Like, objectively speaking, no, this show doesn't matter. I don't think it's even that good or popular for it to matter. But at the same time, this is a show that matters to me. Why? I talked a little bit about it in, again, that chapter 151 episode, the origin story. I talk a little about where it came from, but why do I keep doing it now? What is driving me? I want to talk about the merits of keeping on, because honestly, there are a lot of things that I do that do not matter, in the sense that they are not in advancement of my studies or the advancement of my career. They are fun little either online projects or offline projects that I keep doing, just sometimes for the sake of doing them. And that might be a weird thing, like, in a sense that, how do I say it without sounding like a bit of an asshole? Again, it doesn't matter, like, if I do these or not. But the fact that I keep doing them, to me, signifies something. And that thing is persistence. I'm a persistent guy, and honestly, when I look back at it, this show in particular has helped me go through a lot. Now, long-time listeners probably remember all of the ups and downs that I've had. Like, out of the 159 episodes, nearly more than 60, now 160 episodes if you include the special episodes that I've done on this, at least 50% of them is about depression and being alone, because those are my two main moods. And this is much cheaper than therapy. But when I do this, when I sit down and talk into the microphone that only I can hear, it's a way for me to organize my thoughts. And in the meantime, I'm hoping creating something entertaining, if not entertaining, at the very least cathartic for people. Like, if you listen to this, you probably won't be entertained in the sense that you won't feel like, I've had a good 20 minutes of time. But I hope so, feel some sort of catharticism. You'll feel like, I'm not the only one going through the emotions. I'm not the only one going through these feelings or these thoughts. There is this guy in Iran, in a corner of the city of Tehran, feeling those things, feeling those emotions that I'm feeling right now. Because at the end of the day, why do I do this? I don't want to be alone. And I assume because there are 7 billion people on Earth, more than one other person on Earth feels that. More than one other person feels that, I am alone, I am abandoned, I am cornered off, I am feeling depressed, I am feeling unloved, I am feeling like I can't let go of my past, I feel uncertain about my future. I like Man of La Mancha, the musical about Don Quixote. And my goal is to reach that one person. If I manage to get one person who likes listening to me ramble on, that's enough. So yeah, this isn't a view maker or any of that. But there is another thing in not giving up. I, to an extent, feel like I'm a quitter. I get bored easily. I get distracted easily, and in many senses, I sometimes quit things way too early. The fact that in the past year, I've talked about getting my driver's license, going and acing the written test, but not doing so well on the practical test. I actually got declined once, and then I just didn't go to it. The same is true for a lot of other things that I wanted to do. I wanted to draw stuff. I wanted to learn painting. I wanted to learn audio mixing. I wanted to learn better editing. I wanted to be a YouTuber in the sense that I wanted to make a consistent stream of videos. And my last video was in April, and I still haven't made anything. I'm just talking about all the cool stuff I want to do instead of actually doing them. And so, in a sense, I believe I'm a quitter. At the very least, and depression does amplify this, let me tell you. I feel like doing things is becoming monumental for me. Like sitting down and holding a pencil, putting out a piece of paper in front of me and drawing a half stick figure. Because that's what I draw. And that feels bigger to me now than it did probably a year ago. And so I don't start that. I have periodic bursts of inspiration. Like, for example, I'm going to draw all of the songs from Nightmare Before Christmas, which I did for a gift for my friend. I'm going to draw something for each song and then download the notes for the soundtrack and put them in a book and give it as a gift. I have bursts where and doing that, I actually draw with a metal pen, which is not easy for someone with my drawing skills, for a week or two consistently. I actually got better as I drew, which is another thing I will talk about. But I have those bursts, but after that I didn't. I wanted to draw more. I have a couple of sketchbooks that I haven't filled. I have watercolors I haven't tried. I have so many pains, so many ideas. I have so many kits I haven't put together. And all of them start to feel monumental to me. Like, I feel like, oh, I don't think if I can do this. And doing all of that, doing all of the things that I'm telling you, Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind in specific is the one thing that I feel like if I let it go, I won't go back to it again. Because honestly, Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind is not as easy as it sounds. It is extremely easy, don't get me wrong. It is extremely easy to produce. I take around 5 minutes to put my setup, connect my microphone, put my audio recorder, pour my drink, and write down my notes, and then I start recording. I don't have a plan about what I'm going to say because this is unedited and off the cuff. So in many cases, it is extremely easy for me to make this show. But at the same time, I have to sit here without a script, without snark, without sarcasm, without hiding behind some long-winded explanation of a movie or some elaborate joke that I have in my head. I have to sit here and talk from, again, the last thoughts of a busy mind. These are the last thoughts in my head. These are my emotions. These are my life. This is me in any sense of the word. And you're entering my world. And fuck you, Asda, because YouTube, that ad, welcome to my world. Oh, God. Sorry. Train of thought is often loose. So in that regard, it is very hard. So if I let this go, I don't think I can come back to it. And then again, there is another thing, and that is, again, merits of keeping on. You get better at it. I can show you, I wish I could. I wish this was a visual medium. I mean, I can make it a video cast, but honestly, the thought of putting on a camera for this not now. Maybe after season 20, if it ever goes there. But I have made a couple of foam houses. The first one doesn't look bad. Genuinely, I don't think it looks bad. But it's not good either. The next one, the literal next one, looks 1,000 times better. It has more elaborate curves. It has more interesting shapes, better wood texture, better painting, and all of that. And after that, I made a tiny church facade for the Sergawain video, and that looked even better. And I'm sure if I make my next one, it's going to look even better. I made a tiny diorama of her room, and that, in my opinion, is my best work yet. And I'm glad that I made it for her, because I'm glad that she has that she gets to see inside me a little bit. And that comes from keeping on. I am a fairly closeted person and reclusive. I know it doesn't seem like it. From the outside, I seem very happy, outgoing. I joke with everyone. I talk with everyone. But to be honest, I'm an introvert with the trappings of an extrovert in a sense that I don't feel I am being true to myself in that sense, because that is not me. I have massive crippling social anxiety. So in order for me to look someone in the eye and tell them I love you, in order to look my friend in the eye and say I miss you, in order to look my family in the eye and say I need you, these are stuff I never learned to do properly in my life. And up until 2020, I didn't think I needed to. 2019 was a bad year, I've talked about it before. But when I started doing this show, I still was very closeted in my emotions. If you go back to the first season, I don't even know how to speak properly. And another thing about that, by the way, another reason this show has helped me massively is that I think I'm becoming a better speaker, at the very least a better presenter, especially knowing that I'm doing this off the cuff without any pre-written statement or pre-written anything to go on with. But I was very closed off. I didn't let my emotions pick through. And here's the thing. In the last 160 episode, I've cried on this show. I've had more than one massive anxiety attacks where I started hyperventilating. I've talked about heartbreaks and heart desires. I've told people I love them and I miss them through this very medium. And I started talking to my friends like friends. None of this would have been possible if I'd given up after season 2, which I wanted to. I genuinely didn't think this show would be going on for this long. But yeah, the answer. Why do I do this? Why do I go on? Is it habit? I wouldn't say no. There is a little bit of that here as well. Yeah, I've become a creature of habit, and I keep doing this because I'm used to it. But honestly, I'm recording this on a Sunday, 2 days after I've recorded the last one. I don't think that's as big of a concern as it used to be. The habit is certainly inconsistent. Why do I do this? Why do I go on? I've written these down, these 2 questions that I want to answer. I do this because I think there is something to it. I do this because at the end of the day, when I look at the accumulation of the things that I've gained from doing this show, I look at the accumulation of the things I get from doing my YouTube videos, I do from my crafting, I do from anything. When I look at the end results, they are always getting better. Things always move forward. And if I give up now, why would I then do anything else? This is, in a way, part of who I am. Not this show specifically, but these stuff. And I want to keep on doing them. I want to keep on drawing. I want to do them more consistently, but I don't think I can do that without the help of a therapist, or at the very least some massive drugs, which I'm internally against of. Why do I do this? I don't have anything better to do. To be honest, a couple of months ago, I was thinking, why do I make movies? The way things are going, being a movie maker is stupid. The idea of, I'm going to be a filmmaker is delusional. Especially me with a massive chunk of my life already behind me, still living in Iran, and still the only thing to my name that has any merit is a rough cut of a movie. And then I remembered this old quote that that came from actually Lenny Bruce from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. If I could be doing anything else, I would. But I don't know how. Keeping on is important. You learn a lot more from yourself if you keep on doing stuff that you like. And honestly, after 160 episodes, I actually like doing this shit. It's relaxing. I feel like I'm talking to a friend who I haven't even met. Well, if you're listening to this, thank you. I appreciate it. I will see you next week when I'm back from my trip. Hopefully I haven't died.